1 year ago today, I released the 100th episode of the Different Hats podcast. I remember saying during that interview after with the audience, this may be the 100th episode, but it feels like the start of my journey. At the time, I didn't fully understand what I meant. Yesterday, I turned 47 years old. And today, sitting here recording this, I can say with absolute honesty, this has been the most transformative year of my life. Not the easiest, by any stretch. Certainly not the most successful by traditional definitions, but certainly the most transformative. Because for the first time in my adult life, I was forced to confront a question I'd spent years outrunning. Who am I if I stop doing, stop fixing, building and holding everything together? This year wasn't about adding more, it was about stripping things back. It was about relationships changing shape, about sitting in silence, about sobriety, about asking for help, and about learning to stay with myself when there was nowhere left to hide. Today, this episode is a reflection on the lessons I've learned from listening, but this time, not just listening to the amazing guests, but to myself, to the thoughts and feelings that emerged in the silence that I chose to sit in. I want to share that journey with you, the lessons, the breakthroughs, the moments that broke me and rebuilt me. Because through it all, a framework emerged that has become the backbone of everything I do. Before I take you through the year itself, I want to ground us in a framework that quietly held everything together. The 5 pillars of success weren't created in a boardroom. They were designed to impress or optimize. They emerged from 100 conversations with Olympic champions, World Cup winners, multi-millionaires, entrepreneurs, parents, people who had made it and people who had lost everything. And what struck me wasn't what separated them, it was what connected them. Balance. Not perfection, not symmetry, but the ongoing, intentional integration of work, family, health, growth, and rest, so that no single pursuit permanently overshadows the others. Rather than striving for perfect equilibrium, balance is an ongoing process of regularly recalibrating priorities. Authenticity. Authenticity is living in alignment with your core values and true self. Rather than conforming to external expectations or societal pressures, it's about expressing who you are, flaws, dreams and beliefs, with honesty and courage. Next, presence. Being here, not dwelling on the past, not worrying about the future, not missing your own life while chasing the next milestone. Saying, I'll be happy when. This is it. Right here, right now. So live it. Fulfillment. Fulfillment is the deep sense of satisfaction and purpose arising from living by your values, contributing positively to others, and continuously growing as a person. It's the emotional reward of living a meaningful life, beyond mere achievement or applause. And finally, relationships. The quality of connection with others, with the people who know your mess and your magic, and ultimately, the relationship with yourself. Fostering positive, supportive relationships is the key to emotional health and the cornerstone of redefined success. This year, these pillars stopped being something I spoke about and become something I had to live by. And living them came with a cost. Comfort, certainty, and versions of success that looked impressive from the outside, but no longer felt honest on the inside. Last summer began with the hardest relationship decision of my life. My wife, we chose to walk away after a 28-year relationship, nearly 3 decades, a lifetime, a shared history, 2 beautiful children, and all we knew since we were 18, our entire adult life, was each other. There's no script for that, no roadmap, no manual. But here's what I've learned. Relationships don't always end. Sometimes they just evolve. We didn't walk away from love. we just chose to change his shape. I won't pretend it was easy or painless. There were nights I felt really alone, grieving not just a relationship, but the future I thought was already written. Seeing someone you love also in pain was hard, but we've tried to separate with love. And 9 months on, I genuinely believe we're doing that. This quote, I think, best describes our relationship. No matter what this year has brought, there will always be an us. Because real love doesn't end, it simply changes form. But that wasn't the only relationship shift the past year. The other was the one with myself. For the first time in my life, I stopped running. I sat in silence, real silence. No noise, no distraction, just breath and truth. And if I'm honest, part of me was terrified. So I didn't know what would surface if I finally stood still and sat with my feelings and emotions. But with the guidance of my good friend Sam Adams, and through breath work, through sitting with my thoughts, one question kept returning. Why am I not enough? I journaled for the first time ever after my first session on the 15th of July, and here's what I wrote at the start of the journal. Why am I not enough? Why do I feel like I'm not enough? That question has haunted me, but I knew I needed to ask myself these questions and look for the answers. I remember hearing Chris Williamson say, "The answers you are looking for are in the silence you are avoiding." And that was true for me, because in avoiding silence, I was avoiding myself. Truth is, during the summer, it got dark for me a few times. I know I needed to spend time on my own, but when I did, old narratives would arise. I want to share an excerpt from my journal on Thursday, the 24th of July. Feeling pretty low today. I'm surrounded by love and kindness. People want to help and support me. But I keep hearing that narrative in my head. You're a failure. You're inadequate. You're not enough. I'm struggling to keep it quiet at the moment. I know that this too shall pass. I need to remind myself, but it's hard to see sometimes. I feel like Kelly has gone forever. I know she will flourish without me. I really want that for her more than anything. I'm not sure why I feel so lost. I do think sometimes we have to get lost in order to find ourselves again. I truly believe that was me during the summer. This is another excerpt from my journal on the 2nd of September. I'm really struggling today. I'm surrounded by so much kindness and love, but just feel worthless. Feel like I'm letting the kids down. Kelly has been amazing. I'm so proud of her. There is nothing I want more than to see her succeed and flourish. I truly believe she will go on and go so much further without me. Are these feelings of worthlessness and failure, they all stem from my inadequacy with money, the position I'm in? All I'm doing, all I'm preaching about, I know it's all true, but until I truly live and breathe it, am I just a fraud? Why is my internal narrative not good at the moment? I'm exercising, I'm not drinking, I'm doing all the right things. I still feel like this. Why? As I said, it went pretty dark for me over the summer. But it was again other relationships, love, kindness, and the bravery to ask for help that got me through. Asking for help has probably been the biggest change for me this year. That I put my hand up. I asked for help. Me, the fixer, the helper, the one who holds space for everyone else. I finally put my hand up and said, I'm not okay. Can't do this on my own. And trust me, that sentence didn't come easily. Convincing myself I should be able to handle it. Quietly judging myself for needing support. But what came back still humbles me. Friends offering places to stay or financial support. People showing up without needing to fix anything. Strategy days, phone calls, messages. You all right, mate? There's a quote I keep returning to. A true friend is not someone who just stands with you in the sunshine, but someone who sits with you in the rain. There are people whose kindness and presence quite literally saved my life this year, and for that I'll be forever grateful. They didn't rescue me, they were just there. They just held space. And it made me question something deeply. A conversation I had with my good friend Ashley Usiskin. Why do we carry so much shame around asking for help? Why do we celebrate independence but whisper vulnerability? That narrative is broken. Asking for help isn't weakness. It's courage. It's connection. It's survival. And if you're listening to this right now thinking, this sounds like me, I don't know where to start, then I'll ask you, are you all right, mate? If you aren't, then reach out and ask for help. Trust me, it is a gift. The other big shift for me, and one I feel really helped me navigate this challenging chapter, was that over 400 days ago, I stopped drinking. Not because I hit rock bottom, not because I was out of control, but because I wanted things to change. Because I wanted clarity. And clarity is exactly what I got. No numbing, no avoiding, no escaping. Just me, fully present with my emotions, my decisions, my life. I realised how often alcohol had been less about enjoyment and more about avoidance, a way of muting feelings I didn't know how to sit with. The clarity gave me courage to make hard decisions, to stay with discomfort, to listen properly. It stripped everything back and revealed what truly matters. This brings me to the year ahead, to purpose, to fulfillment, to you all right, mate. Tony Robbins describes in life and business there's a difference between push motivation and pull motivation. Push is forcing yourself forward with willpower. Willpower will only get you so far. But pull motivation is when something bigger than you draws you in. I'm not building a business anymore. I'm building a movement. And I'll be honest, stepping fully into that scared me. Because it meant letting go of things I was good at, respected for, and known for. This past couple of months, I've looked at everything I was doing and asked one question. Does this serve the mission? The answer was no. I put that hat down. And for the first time, the hat I'm wearing now feels right. It doesn't mean I've got it all figured out. Trust me, some days the old patterns still knock on the door. But I know now which ones I no longer need to answer. Bottom line is, male suicide remains one of the leading causes of death for men under 50 in the UK. Too many men suffer in silence, trapped by outdated definitions of success and cultural pressures. To stay strong or man up, we believe success is more than wealth, status, or external validation. It's about balance, authenticity, presence, fulfillment, and meaningful relationships. You All Right Mate exists to challenge these narratives and create safe spaces for honest conversations. By encouraging peer-to-peer mental health check-ins, we empower men to open up, support each other, and take early steps towards well-being. The mission is clear. Help the world to see success differently, reduce male suicide, and have a positive impact on the mental health crisis. We're taking the You All Right Mate programme into workplaces and schools. We're creating real change, not just awareness. The programme we did recently at Focus Group showed me what's possible when men get space to be real, to reframe success, to truly connect. Also our school programme, the difference it makes when children start to see they are enough just as they are. Not what grades they get, not what they achieve, but just as they are. I'm pleading with you, join me on this journey. Together, we really can make a difference. As we're coming towards the end of this episode, let me take you back to that question again. Why am I not enough? In one of the breathwork sessions, I was asked to write my legacy letter. Writing this wasn't comfortable. cracked something open, but it also showed me who I'd been trying to become, had been there all along. Here's what I wrote. Today, we're here to celebrate the life of Sam Thomas. We're in a room surrounded by love and loved ones. His two beautiful twins, his best friend Kelly, his brother, friends and family, and hundreds of people he has impacted throughout his life. Sam led life with a big heart and a smile, full of love, kindness, authenticity and curiosity. He made it his life's work to help the world to see success differently, challenging stigmas and archaic narratives, and in doing so, he has had an enormous impact, saved lives and left the world in a better place than he found it. Through the ups and downs of life, he tried to be forever the eternal optimist, always believing it will be all right in the end. We all remember that wherever you are in life, good or bad, that is just a moment in time, and that this too shall pass. His final message and legacy will live on in all of us for years to come, that true success is to love and be loved, because that's why we are here. In writing those words, something shifted. I realised I'm already the person I want to become. I am enough. I want to leave you with something from my friend Matthew White, who was diagnosed with a terminal brain tumour. His words really resonated and landed with me. The last 12 months have been a steep learning curve, and there is a lesson here too. I've learned that my voice is something I cherish, but it can be expressed in so many ways. Most significantly, I have learned that I must not allow the opportunity of having a voice pass. So as I support and guide my family, as I talk to others, or as I tell anyone who will listen about the need for change, I won't be silent. I will make my contribution. Thank you, Matt, for the inspiration. This year, I've found my voice too. So here's my invitation to you. If you're in a season of uncertainty, transition, or quiet fear, this episode isn't here to give you the answers, just permission. Ask yourself, what would have to happen by the end of this year for you to look back and call it a success? Write it down. Measure it in honesty, in connection, in presence, in love. 1 year ago, I thought that the episode 100 was the start of my journey, and it was. Just not the journey I expected. As I turned 47 yesterday, I realised that today I'm exactly where I need to be. Different hats hung up, the right one on. My voice has been found. The mission is crystal clear. I am enough, and so are you. So it leaves me to simply ask one question. You all right, mate?